Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Heavenly Delusion, but I'm doing things a little bit out of order this morning. I want to do my drawing and I want to do it while I'm listening to this album that I'm in the middle of. So I'm just going to keep it playing and then we'll reunite here in order to actually talk about stuff. See you in a sec. Bounce, 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 bounce. Okay. Okay. God damn it. I had to do this. And since okay, here's a little bit of background. This, besides one thing that I tried a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, this is the first time that I've tried at linear, at narrative, at story, at any sort of thing then other thing then other thing, like any sort of multiple images making one image, any sort of storytelling. I've never done anything like this. That is the medium that I am most invested in, most interested in, that I have centered my like consumptive life around, and at present I do not produce it. And the reason primarily is because I'm scared to. Because it's novel, because it's new, because it's a place that I haven't tried. And so the world of even shitty comic books, let alone the types of manga that I actually admire and in my heart of hearts wish and want to one day be able to create, I haven't done any of it. And I realized that kind of when I came up with this dumb joke, that fish has hands. It's like, in what context would it be really silly for a fish to have hands? And then the phrasing of like, oh, dude, that dude has hands. Oh, bro, he's got hands, bro. For basketball or even MMA. But I figured that trying to convey it through basketball would be the best way. And so that's what I tried to do. And I have no idea how to represent things in space like this. I have no idea how to panel. I have no idea how to move from one panel to another. I have no idea how to place characters in the panels to create different effects. I'm just winging it. And there are pieces of this that are really fun. There are pieces that I think even work, right? Like, I actually think that this frame kind of works, even though it probably shouldn't have. I added all the extra balls in there. And then it actually does have the appearance of some of those like manga panels where a character like swings their sword a bunch of times. So we have a confident basketball player. Bam, 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 bam. Fuck. He starts off down the court, and in his waist stands fish. A fish? No problem. Wachoo! Bam! This fish has hands. Fuck, man. So many of my drawings recently have been trying to accomplish beauty or trying to accomplish like fidelity or trying to get to the reality of something and draw it correctly. So it's fun to break out of that a little bit and to move to a space where the point is conveyance. The point is what it gets across. The point is whether there's a flow to it. The point is a totally different realm. And I'm giggling at this. Like, I just want to take stock of where I'm at emotionally here, having crossed over into this thing that I'm honestly quite afraid to do, having done it on camera in a way that's public. So my fear and humiliation is now publicized. I'm laughing. I'm like having a good time. I'm enjoying this. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. What a fun thing it is to explore yourself and to see what ways you might be able to expand. I think I'd really like to expand in that direction. And while I look at that and I'm like, wow, what a piece of crap, right? It's also a starting point, isn't it? It's a little bit different than a blank piece of paper because next time I draw something with any kind of linearity to it, it'll be the second time. Because this is the first time that I've ever done something like that. Even when I was a kid, I don't have any memories of trying to write a comic. I've done a couple of forays into like flipbook style animation, but these realms that we engage with so significantly on this channel, manga, anime, narrative, attached to art, visual art, they're new to me still. I've spent a lot of time intaking them and not a lot of time figuring out how to make them. And I think I'm at the point where I'd like to switch that, at least to incorporate it into part of what I'm doing. That's weird and kind of scary, but it's also not scary at all because, again, in my heart of hearts, I have always harbored this desire, this feeling like that's what I should do. Like I need to acquire the skills in order to do that effectively, but that's where I should aim myself, and I do feel that way. I continue to. What a strange thing. What a strange thing. And I want to bring it back home in just a second, in a strange way that maybe will make sense, and that will turn into us trying to make sense of this next episode of Heavenly Delusion. Let me set up my backdrop and stuff and switch headphones and things, and then we'll jump into talking a little bit more. I return. As I mentioned before I jumped into the drawing portion, I was listening to an album this morning. I've kept this trend on Heavenly Delusion days of trying to listen to a cool album that's maybe related, and this time I thought, what am I going to listen to? I don't know. Oh yeah, there's this cool band that I haven't listened to in a while called The Ocean. The Ocean is a progressive metal band that makes albums that are titled after and somewhat modeled after different, like, eras, big paleontological eras of Earth. So it's, and then also a bunch of their albums, their earlier albums, are named after, like, depths of the ocean. So the album that I listened to today was Pelagic, and it was really cool, really neat, cool atmosphere to all of the tracks, really awesome. Would really recommend going and listening to The Ocean. They're like I really like, there's a particular tone or a vibe that I like to have on in the background sometimes that's energetic and full of full of intrigue and lots of atmosphere, and I think The Ocean like nails a particular vibe that I really like having in the background really well. But there was a line in one of the songs in the album that really stood out to me today, and it was just before I sat down to start recording, and I stopped the thing and I went and I took a note of it so that I wouldn't forget it. And the line, which is repeated over and over in the song, and I'm just bringing this up because I genuinely think that it might be relevant to Heavenly Delusion and to our general broader philosophical conversation around Heavenly Delusion, the characters within it, us as people, what we're doing, all of these things. The line is, how much control do we have over what we wish for? And the context, I think, I'm taking the context as being partly related to the evolution of these sea-bound creatures that are in the depths of the ocean, in the open ocean, away from land. And there's built into it, and maybe I'm imposing this because of a different album that I listened to recently, and I told you about it, The Source by Arion, which has this like pressure to evolve, this pressure to adapt. But over the course of all time, as far as living things care about it, living things have had a pressure to become something more than they are. And the question that the song asks is, how much control do we have over what we wish for, over what we're aimed at, over what we want to become? And when I heard that line, I thought, man, I wonder how that kind of an idea would relate to these characters becoming something other than entirely human, with these strange desires and normal desires too, within this odd facility. And also these two people who really aren't sure who they are or what to aim for in some ways. How much control do they have over what they're aiming themselves toward? Or is it a matter of their circumstance, their birth, the situations around them, the position that they've found themselves in? I'm a person who believes in free will in some sense. But I wonder, along with this question, how much freedom do we have to actually want different things? There's a little bit of a paradox in the phrasing, because we think of wishing for something as an agentic act, as like an act of choice. I wish for that, and as opposed to that. I wish for that over there. I wish to become, I wish to be, I wish to be. I wish for the ability to create what my mind imagines and to not be ashamed of what comes out. Yeah. But how much control do I have over that wish? It bubbled up from within me, right? It's a part of me. I don't actually feel like I have control over the wish itself. I have control over how I treat myself after discovering it, after realizing it. I could shut it down. I could pretend that it's not a good way to go, right? I could control that. But the wish itself, the yearning, the longing, I don't know. I don't know. So then, how does that apply to love? How does that apply to journeys? How does that apply to evolution itself? How does that apply to this weird meta-evolution that's maybe going on with the kids in the facility? I don't fucking know. It doesn't. It's just a cool philosophical idea, and I have enjoyed thoroughly letting it sink in and being like, huh, I don't know. I don't know how much control I have over what I wish for. It's curious. It's curious. It reminds me of statements like, you are not your thoughts, which can be very difficult to wrap your head around if you're strongly identified with your thoughts. I am a bundle of things, and that includes thoughts, and it includes things that I wish for, but I am not those things. Those things like burble up within me. They emerge out of me. How strange. What do our characters actually wish for? Specifically now talking about Maru and Kiruko. Finding heaven. That's our stated objective. Connecting to someone with the same face as you. Fulfilling a mission, a goal given by the sister who has since passed. Sister. Big questions, right? Big not sure if that's a sister, right? For Kiruko, maybe to be in coherence physically and psychologically. It's unclear. To survive. How much control do they have over those wishes? Because in some ways, they feel like pinballs that have been set in motion by external circumstance, by the collapse of society itself, by the delivery of the boy and the mission that's been given, by the disappearance of Doc and the switching of the brains, it seems. These seem like forces that have pinballed our characters into needing, wanting, craving particular things, but it's not as though they've chosen those out of a place of free choice, right? It's not as though the world appeared to them and said, you can do whatever you want. What do you want to do? And they chose. They, like us, have been pinballed into their situations. In some ways, they haven't even had the choice to pursue the things that they wish for, let alone to choose which things they might wish for in the first place. It's an open question. I raise it and I pose it to you. I have been rocked by its existence in this song, and unfortunately or fortunately, however this ends up playing out, that's taken up a portion of my brain capacity here in the beginning of the episode, in the beginning of the video. I just wanted to share it with you. So thanks for handling that, dealing with it, sharing it with me. With that in the background, but not necessarily important at all, we can just leave it. Let's move on to the next episode of Heavenly Delusion and talk a little bit about a couple of the things that happened in the previous episode. I had to go through the comments on the previous episode really quick because I knew that there was one about something that I missed or made a mistake on, but I couldn't for the life of me remember what it was. I talked in the last episode about figuring out how Kiruko got the Kiru beam and not being sure about that, but we have absolutely seen that. We saw that in episode 2. She got it from the girl with the dark spots who brought Maru to her for the thing. And we are, given the conversation that they had, we're going to continue to try to use names, Kiruko, but also I'm going to use her as the primary descriptor for Kiruko, I think. If I'm, like, fundamentally wrong on doing that, let me know, but that is how I've been doing it anyway, and it seems after our previous conversation that that's probably fine going forward. If it doesn't feel fine, let me know. I don't want to mess with things. I'm just trying to do it by ease and trying to refer to the characters, okay? Oh yeah, real babies don't have faces. Just gotta throw that out there, the creepiest ending ever, because I thought that the creepiest ending ever was, oh my god, that fish has hands. But then we follow it up with, nah, dude, real babies don't have faces, don't you know that? Everybody knows that. We're about to experience some really weird shit in this next episode, aren't we? Not that we haven't already, but... Vibes? Vibes. Episode title Cuckoo? Kuku, like cuckoo, 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 or like cuckoo, cuckoo in the head, or it's a name. Okay, first I've seen of that. All right, everybody. I have blathered, I have scribbled, I have scrabbled, I've scrombled. I've definitely scrombled my brains a little bit. That's fine. This show does that to me, and I'm okay with it. I'm really enjoying it, and also it's delicious. Delicious brain scramble. Yum. Mmm. Let's go ahead and watch episode 4 of Heavenly Delusion and see how much more we get scrambled over the course of this dang thing. I think a lot. We're gonna fight a fish with hands. It's probably not gonna go well, but we are gonna survive it somehow. I'm not sure how Kiru Beam is working at present. I'm not sure how you fight this thing while you're on a ship. It's an exciting fight. It's a cool fight. I really just want to see it. Let's go ahead and dive on in and watch episode 4 of Heavenly Delusion. So I've got the episode up and ready to go. We're still watching the Flugel version with the Flugel subs and stuff. Let me make sure that it's on the right Japanese and the right subtitles. Yes, it is. We're ready to rock for episode 4 of Heavenly Delusion. Thank you so much for joining me for my blathering and also for the episode that we're going to watch. Part of the joy of what I get to do is to be able to think out loud and really take you on the journey that I go on anyway when I watch stuff, which is talking back to the damn screen and talking to myself out loud throughout the thing and taking notes and trying to figure out what's going on under the surface in a way that, over time may coagulate into something like a learning process where I'm intaking these things and turning them into something else. I don't really know. I don't always know what it is that I'm exactly wishing for or how I'm trying to strive toward it, but this is a part of that somehow. Let's watch the next episode. 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, early access on the Patreon, beep beep timer to count you down. Let's go. Oh, that's so big. The sound. the thuggity thuggity thuggity. It's got like a bubble of air, water, whoa, around it. Not through the. Okay, maybe through the thing. Oh my god, maybe it's a bubble of water around it? Unfazed? Sometimes I wish that I did a different format of reactions so that I could just pause and talk about stuff. Because this is one of those instances where I would just pause and talk about how crazy that opening sequence was. The sounds! The thunkety thunkety thunk on the glass sounds. Ah! Ah! I don't like it. It also looked like the beam did nothing. That's bad. Maybe that has to do with the bubble that it's maintaining around itself. Real babies, real babies, real babies, real babies. Oh wait, is Cuckoo one of their names? Fuck. She's like really physically capable too. Oh! Okay, you are Tsuyu Asui. What the fuck? Just follow me. Excuse you. Not everybody can do that, dude. Yeah. Correct. Nah. Constant surveillance. Oh. Oh, we're finally seeing the other side. The smoochin'. We're not understanding at all. Oh. There we go, it comes into play. Okay. Are we on camera? Everything's on camera. What? What? What was that? It was blank. There's so much going on. What the fuck? We're on the other side. We're the observers now, through the windows. We're the hidden watcher. I think you are. Oh my god, and we're switching back and forth. This is gonna build a lot of tension if we keep switching. How many shots does she have? Fuck. She called them Tama? They're like eggs? Okay. No. fuck? I'm sorry for just laughing at it. What the fuck? I didn't notice that. Do not enter. Oh. Oh. Just don't go down there? It's just not locked? What the fuck is down there? Why are they afraid of it down there? Give it a name. It's you, bro. Eh? Oh. Ah. I don't like it. I love the bass line in that. It feels underwater. Oi! The camera doesn't follow us, it just follows it. Yeah, maybe we can make it waste. Maybe we can make it waste its water. Huh? Ah! What's with the boxes of food and fruit and stuff? And why are they all like one? They're not stacked on top of it. It's so weird. Can you Marutachi it? Oh, it's slurping up its water. Is it because it's all dried cannabis? Ha! Ha ha! You could smell it? This was all built to just make that line happen. Wow. Kata! Stupid idiot! Get blazed, fish! Yeah, give it the Marutachi. What are you doing to it, Maru? When you do that, what do you do to it? Why? Why? You're Maru, uh-oh. Yeah. Gulp. Oh my god, we got baby chambers. That's I saw a camera on the wall. How are they not visible? Ah, fuck. What? Um, Don't leave a handprint on the glass! Oh, fuck, he can't get out. Oh, shit. You're outside now. The sanctum. Is it not this? It's something else. It's something else. It's somewhere else. Something worse is going on. There's an actual intruder. In the sanctum? What are those? The cameras don't pick up Tokyo. They don't pick him up. But they didn't pick up her either? You're invisible, dude. Not a handprint, but a footprint. Ah! Why are they mandrakes? What the fuck? No. 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 What? A reactor? They're like friends. This is a reactor. This is a reactor core. That's my thought. That looks like a reactor core. There's one on the fucking mountain up above me that I ride my wheel up to. That looks like a nuclear reactor core. Okay, what the fuck? And then the big things that go into the sides. What the fuck? Yeah. And also to not tell anybody about the weed. Can we get some bud? Can we get some for the road? No? Oh. I wonder if there were any other hints that they were drug smugglers. Nah, I don't know. I feel like I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. Not that I think he's lying, I just think he's wrong. Yeah, honestly, it could be a good gig. He totally changes his tune every other line. Okay, we got a dreary city. Do-it-yourself home center. Hmm. Oh, it's from Mitsuba. Maybe it's a market? It's like a store? Oh, gel stuff. Yeah, it's delicious. It's probably the best thing you've had in a long time. Yeah. Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. Yeah. Oh my god, what a treat. Oh, with beans, maybe? Yeah. Whoa. Yopan? Fuck. You should save that. Yokon doesn't go bad very well. It's too sugar dense, I think. It's like a preserve? Hmm? Hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, he was completely wrong. That's really funny. I'm glad that they can laugh. Oh man, what the fuck happened? It was deleted from your drive? Interesting. I got. Oh, wait, what? She didn't send it to him? I feel funky. Huh? You want to strip your clothes off and do stuff? That's not what he means, but okay. Oh, this is so cute. Not quite. Who's listening? Whoa. He's finding out so much. He's becoming the observer. He's not one of them anymore. I wonder if they're gonna pull him in and make him into the adults. Like, tell him what's really going on. Taro is not getting better, dude. Just like the baby. Then what is it? What? What? What are you drawing? What's he drawing? Oh, I'm gonna wash your mouth out with river water? That sucks, dude. Oh, it's him? Oh, really? really detailed. Whoa. Not the expected response. Okay. Well, that's nice. Okay. Makes sense with the love for the paintings, for the drawings. Oh man, this is gonna go so dark so fast. I'm so scared now. You have been a very bad boy. Oh no. Oh no. He's gonna fucking die. Still wants connection even if it hurts. It's important. Let him say what he needs to say. Leave? Flee? Yeah. Yeah. This place is bad news. Yes, sir. That is correct. What was this episode? What a horror show. What a nightmare. What the fuck? So yeah, that's new. I wonder if we'll remove him from the ED now that he's dying. Do we see Tokyo in those ED moments? Trying to figure out the... Okay, we do. Trying to figure out the invisibility thing. Fuck you. Fuck you, fish. Okay, no ending sequence this time. What the fuck? Honestly, not as big of a what the fuck episode in certain ways as the previous one. A lot of the things going on in this episode make sense, even though I don't understand the sense making of the space. They link together, so I can't see the whole chain, but I can see two links linked together, and this episode adds the second link to them. You know, it expands Tokyo's explorations of the space in a really cool way. So he's doing this investigation thing, and there are all these mysteries around it. And I want to talk about some of those, but I don't want to get too lost in the sauce on them or too stuck on seeking out certainty. Just to mention and kind of embed in our minds the fragments of mystery that we have, the various puzzle pieces that we have. But first, I gotta go pee. All right. My first impression of this episode is that it's tight. It's tightly woven together. And I think that the factor that contributes most to that, besides the actual conciseness of the writing and stuff, is the flow between A plot and B plot, whichever one you consider A plot or B plot. The two plots doesn't really matter to me. Between the fish fight and Tokyo's explorations of weird baby time. It feels like the times at which we cut and drop into the next one and let it build create like an overall flow of tension building over the course of the episode that feels really cool. It feels really good. And even when we collapse some of that tense space, like winning the fish fight and stuff, a lot of the tension that we've built up, the emotional angst, almost the energy that's there, doesn't get resolved exactly. It doesn't like disappear. Instead, it kind of gets folded into the Tokyo plot at the same time, right? Because it feeds into more mysteries. It stays lingering in the background like residual heat or something that adds to the total heat of the system, so that when we're getting those Tokyo parts, there's this looming dread and this other set of emotions present at the same time. I think it's really cool. I don't know exactly how it was done exactly. I don't know how I would do it ever. Fuck. But I want to point at it and be like, I think that the way that we drop between these two sequences really elevates both of them. That's my first impression of the episode. The second thing that I think stands out to me is actually the first thing that I caught from the episode, which is sound design, something that I've been paying a lot of attention to since Dan to Dan has been blowing my mind with sound design. The whole set of sequences around the fish are sound designed and visually designed really effectively. I really like the vastness, the like size and scale of the fish sounds. And then there are a bunch of moments later in the episode where the soundtrack itself, the music, becomes almost muffled, becomes almost like warped and behind glass maybe, or behind layers and layers of ocean maybe. It's like muffled and odd. And I think that that adds to the tension, the feeling that something's off, the feeling that something's not quite clear, not being shared with you in a crystal clear way. I was talking to somebody in the comments just yesterday, a longtime commenter on the channel who's a musician, and they were mentioning something that I had talked about creating spaces in visual art, and how they feel like they're doing somewhat the same thing in creating audio landscapes through music. And I 100% agree. I think that because we use audio to track our environments in a bunch of ways that are subconscious, that spatial audio and certain vibes of audio create very distinct feelings and emotions and literally landscapes for us. So there are a bunch of scenes that feel enclosed on the audio landscape, that feel trapped in or like tightening down. And that really stood out to me about the episode. Then the clarity and vibe of all the fish fight sequences as it barrels into a room and smashes and our characters are running away from it. There are elements that are kind of like little jokes in between, little characters becoming very animated and very like fluid and very goofy as they're running away from the thing and yelling at each other about particular elements of that. Like Maru gets freaked out at one point and yells something, I think it's about the naming, as we're running away from this fish that's barreling around and smashing into walls. And as it's running through and smashing into walls, we're like changing camera angles in really like dramatic instances to sell the idea that this fish takes over the landscape, takes over the frame, and is pushing, forcing our characters down different paths. All really, I think, really effectively put together. And then there's like the heart of it that continues on, the little direct interactions between the characters, the memories, the things that matter, the mysteries, the moments where we focus in on characters and what they're looking at, and the moments where we reveal to us, the audience, more and more about this facility around the children. There's a lot here. But this episode feels like it moves us from the last episode to the next episode with a couple of additional reveals and a couple of payoffs for things that were set up, like the faceless babies and stuff, which are much weirder than I thought they would be, because I just thought a baby without a face, and it's much worse than that. Like, so, oh my god, like so much weirder. Okay, let's take a look, Gandro, at the episode itself, and I just want to start with the opening audio. Boom. That's our starting point for the episode, yeah? I think it's crucial. I'm really loving these like last couple years of anime with crazy fucking sound design. It's Kensuke Ushio again, right? The music is Kensuke Ushio, and sound director is Eriko Kimura, who is also the sound director for Dan Da Dan. That's what I wanted to make sure was the connection that I was making inside my brain, and it is the connection that I'm making inside my brain. That's the same person. The reason that this sounds similarly like vast and kind of filmic is because it's literally the same artist and director putting it all together. Like, same music guy, Kensuke Ushio, same match that all together and direct it all, Kimura. Okay, that had to clock that in my brain. There's something about all of the shots that have the hands in them. My brain always goes, oh, it's just a person. Oh, right, it's the fish. Like, every time, even when it's like goop like this, I'm like, my brain goes, oh, it grabbed a person. Wait, no, that's not a person that it grabbed. That's part of it. Or when it drops down into the like stairwell sort of thing, its arms go down first, and I'm like, oh, look, a dude. Oh, wait, no, those are goop arms attached to a fish. Something about that continues to scare me, like in like little 5% scares over the course of the thing. It's like little 5% misinterpretations where I look at the thing, I'm like, oh, wait, no, it's not. And it reminds me how weird the thing is, how creepy it is. I like it. That's the worst thing ever. That's the worst thing ever. Is it on how? Yeah, okay. So they animated the whole thing on ones, so it's unnaturally fluid and smooth as it's like all the pieces come together. There's this rich sound design with great Foley, weird musical ambiance in the background of that gives it space. And then the visuals are too smooth. They're wrong. They're weird. It moves wrong. Awesome. And then it moves so fast. She clocks that it only moves in straight lines, that it moves linearly, which is really interesting because I didn't clock that at all. Fuck that. And also it has blasto beams of water, but maybe that means we can make it waste its water. Kiru beam does nothing, right? Like, it shatters the window, right? Why does the Kiru beam not do anything? Does it have to do with the water bubble? I'm not sure. Okay. OP, and we switch, and we're on Tokyo's space. Hello. Let's go to see the babies. Is she cuckoo? Yes, she is. Okay, just wanted to make sure that made sense. That's cuckoo. And she is a little bit. Let's go see the babies. Not a care in the world. And easily able to frog her way up the wall. What the fuck? She's fully a frog lady. I like that he tries it. It speaks to his character a little bit. And then this scene is totally different. We go from being in the perspective of the children to watching them, to observing them, and we get to see, this is one of the first times that we've revealed much behind the scenes. We know that there are adults watching and stuff, but what are they actually doing? What does that look like? We get to see a lot. And we get to see some, like, secret locations because of the scare. We get to meet whatever her face is, the weird robot lady. Which I'm imagining is the AI system that runs this facility to some extent. But what the fuck? Okay. Everything is being watched, and we pull out from there. Everything is being watched all the time. And it's not just the cameras on the walls, it's the cleaning bots, it's everything. Everything everywhere. It's all the screens, all the tablets, it's all a panopticon. They're used to watching all of this. There are a bunch of blank screens. So I want to mention this. You don't build a panopticon system like this with blanks in it, right? Those take up extra space. I think that we're running off of all the technology that we have left, and we've lost a bunch of cameras over time. I want to look through and see if there are any other locations that really stand out to me. No. They all look like locations that we're familiar with or seem like totally okay with characters being. There is one that's looking directly at the camera, which feels very creepy. And there's the one that's looking at Tarao. Tarao? Yeah. Close contact of more than 10 seconds. Again? And the way he says it is like surprised. What emotions possessed them to kiss each other like that? So this is really strange, right? Because when we see two people kiss, it's pretty obvious. We don't ask questions like, why would they do such a thing? It's like obvious to us. It's like, oh, they are attracted to each other, and that's what comes of that, right? But the kids inside the institution don't understand that, and we get that demonstrated really clearly by what's-his-face telling her that he wants to lick her, and her being like, you want to eat me? Weird. But that makes sense that the kids wouldn't understand, but these adults would have been pre-calamity shit, right? Like pre-collapse. They would know what kissing is. So, what the fuck? And then he says, it's quite strange, we've never taught them that behavior. This is really interesting, right? Now we're to nature-nurture stuff. Now we're to, why do they have emergent behaviors that we didn't program into them? Well, because you're dealing with kids. You're dealing with human children. They have all of humanness in them, unless you're not dealing with human children. So what the fuck are you dealing with? We've never taught them that behavior, and yet they exhibit fundamentally human behaviors. I read these as fundamentally human behaviors. I remember in first grade, I had my first girlfriend, and her name was Sarah. And we were good friends, and we decided that now, because that's what people do, that we would be boyfriend and girlfriend. And on the playground, we would cover our heads with a sweatshirt and go, and we thought we were so fucking crazy. We were like 7 or 8, right? Totally normal things for kids to be experimenting with. Very weird, right? Zooming out and being like, I have no context on humanity. It's very strange behavior, but it's not actually. Like, those sorts of interactions are like practice, exploration. They're all sorts of things. We've never taught them that behavior. There's a ring to this that's like, I never taught you to speak that way, from like a mildly abusive parent. It's like, where did you learn to act like that? It's like, it's a child. They learn stuff. They come up with things on their own even. It's crazy. I don't know. There's also an interesting element where I think people pick up on stuff that's being like held back from them. Like whatever's being forbidden or tabooified, people pick up on that subconsciously and try to go seeking for it. Kind of like Tokyo going seeking for outside, right? Seeking past the boundaries. It's like, I know there's a mystery, and so I'm looking for it. I know there's something being hidden from me. So like, if a parental relationship hides all affection, the kid will go like searching for affection because it's a missing piece in their world that they shouldn't have any conscious awareness that there's a piece missing. They've never been introduced to it, but something inside is like, there's something missing here and I need to go find it. We've never taught you that behavior never works as a justification or like a query, you know? It doesn't make sense. But it does make sense in this context if those are not human children with emergent properties, right? If they're programmed biological entities that we generated whole cloth from nothingness or whatever, then they shouldn't have these weird humanistic behaviors at all. They should act more robotic. So then his question makes sense. Just this scene raises so many questions about the questions that he's raising. Why is the show confusing? Because that's fun. Bam. So many things in this episode, like, interrupt each other. Yeah? Kind of cool. Possible deterioration in health. And everything starts moving. We get the picture of a fairly well-oiled machine, but I get the feeling like it's understaffed and under-resourced. Yeah? Okay, and then on the other side, stick to the wall, go do the thing. They're distracted somewhat by this thing with Taraho, but there's a moment where we see the camera's looking, camera's watching. It doesn't see him, and it doesn't see her. Because she's opening the freaking thing. Is this Tokyo's power? Or is the system somehow letting him be free? I think this is his power. I think that he's invisible to electronics. Weird. And then maybe creates a bubble of invisibility around him, which in this case includes Cuckoo. Weird. Okay, this moment where he looks out the grates, and now he's on the other side of things, and watches these other kids run around. Now he's gone from being a part of the thing being observed to being an observer. Something has changed fundamentally. He is outside, at least a little bit. Okay, and then it transitions over here as we're headed toward the thing, which builds tension immensely. Immensely builds the tension. Wonderful. Oh, yeah, here's another example. Okay, we see the hand, and until the goop comes out of the hand, my brain goes like, oh, that's one of our homies' hands. Oh, no, it's the fish. I love it. It's so weird. It's so creepy. It's got a bubble. It's got the hands. We gotta fight it on land, but we don't have land, so we'll make land on the inside of the boat. And that's where we'll fight. So, dumb guy is a little bit shifty. Dumb guy's a little bit shifty, but how did she figure it out? Was there any evidence that we could have used to figure that out from the way that the other people have interacted? I don't think so. I don't think this is a situation where that's been presented to us as, like, we have a reason to believe that they're drug smugglers. But she does. Fucking interesting. Somebody's still growing weed. Wait, was the farm that we were at, were they growing lots of weed? That doesn't quite make sense. I don't know. I love Marutachi. I think it's great. I think that it's hilarious that he doesn't get it. God, fuck. And then I think that this scene, once we kick into gear, it's set off, it's distinguished by, like, the music and the switch from inside to outside. And this cool fucking bass line that starts coming in. They might actually be toms. They might be percussive. It's tonally similar to the sounds of, like, clangs on the metal, so it feels like it's a part of the space. Or oral audio space, as opposed to being like a thing layered on top. And then those, like, warbly water effects become a part of the music as well. And then they're all blended together by these big sounds. Eriko Kimura is quickly becoming my favorite sound director by a long, long shot, especially for these sort of big, wide, broad, open, like, open or really enclosed sorts of sounds. It's so cool. We get some awesome animation for these sequences, and I really do think that the action from here to when we kill the fish is pretty immaculate. There are a couple of things about it that I want to look at. There are all of these moments where the characters, like, burst through a room and run a direction, and then we hold for a frame, and then the fish bursts into the room, and the camera moves when the fish bursts in, as though the whole situation has changed dramatically. And it's not just following the fish, but it, like, expands outward a little bit and gives it extra impact, and that camera move also serves to follow the characters a little bit. It's like a bunch of things done all at once through one camera movement, was the impression that I got, and I'd like to see it and try to identify it and, like, figure out how it was done. Okay, I really like this running sequence. We have to mention it just because the things that I like about it, I think, are pretty subtle. This reminds me a lot of, we've seen a bunch of Kai Ikarashi cuts in Dungeon Meshi recently, with a bunch of characters running toward camera from Monster or something like that. So it's cool to have like a background of similar sorts of cuts. And this has that same feel, but a very distinct style. It's a different animator, and yet it captures that like at the same time. Then we cut here, and this all holds together, and there's a very slight, we begin to turn the whole thing. Look. We begin to turn it as though and they're going from angled against us to like straight past us. How much difficulty do you think that turning this one running in one angled direction to being like sweeping through three-dimensional space toward us, how much more difficult do you think that is? Because I think that's a lot more difficult. In my mind, that's a lot more difficult. Plus all the lighting effects that are happening and the like weird lighting through the bubble of the fish thing. It's really deeply impressive. Okay, boxes. And then as they clamber over every box, it like collapses as though it's slightly wet old cardboard. That's really intricate. Ooh. I think they might be 3D textures? Like textures placed on a 3D object and then warped? I don't really know. That's cool. Okay, here's one of those bursts. Our characters are running. Our frame is really static. Okay, we put your eye on this beam over here. Okay, you can see it moves around a little, but just a couple pixels. Okay, and then the fish emerges. Ba-boom! Immediately it moves. Shake, shake. Oh, shake! Shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. And then it holds. Oh, and then it shakes again when it bursts up. Yep. It holds. We do this slow zoom out. Bip, 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 bip. Bip, 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 bip. Boom! Whole frame shake. Shake, shake. Oh, and zoom, zoom. Cool. And then we're cut away. Now we're here. We're in a solid frame. Frame. It's just enough frames for it to feel solid. And then it bursts. Shake, 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 shake. Oh, and then we pull to follow it. As though it bashes up against this wall. And then it overcomes the camera. Overcomes the space. And then we're following it this direction. Whoa. And at that point, it bursts this. Boom. Bam. And we take first person on the missile attack itself. I love... Way to waste a shot, idiot! And also, if you don't do both sides, the fish can't get in. I love the ability to have strong character moments in the midst of all this action. Just get over there. Start throwing boxes at it. We got it. Oh no, I can't do it. It's okay. It's drying out. Sure, whatever. Yeah, fine, sure. It's a bunch of dried plant matter. It sucks all the water out of him. How did she know? I don't know. Would this actually work? I don't know. Maybe. Is it pretty freaking cool as a way to defeat the thing? Yes, absolutely. And because of that, I'm willing to fish hand wave the whole thing. Pretty freaking cool. Crazy amounts of marijuana. This guy's just a fish out of water. Ha ha! It's pretty badass. It's pretty badass. We don't get to see the Marutachi on the inside this time. We resolve that, but somehow the feeling of it still remains with me as we transition into this next moment. And the next moment is this extremely smooth, like perfectly matched on one's footfall pattern down this hallway. Feels very isolating, very tight and confined. And it feels like we're walking towards something profound. It's pitch black now. There it is. No one's around. Sometimes there are. It's a little scary. We hold the camera away from the glass for so long. Is this outside or are we inside? Well, the school is inside something else and you're inside that. Look, real babies. Um, I don't think I have words here. I can't even grapple onto like, oh, they're kind of like plants. They're kind of like fish. They're kind of like nothing. They're kind of only like the Hiruko. Whatever they're called. What the fuck? What the fuck? They're like mandrakes. Like evil spirit plant monsters with weird roots. What? What the what? They all have similar biologies, too. Like, they're clearly the same. What are they? Are they man-eaters? Or something else? Do they grow into being the kids that we see? I think so. This is their incubation chamber. For some reason, they're placing 2 of them in one box, which is really interesting, too. Those are babies? Yeah, bro. Those are babies. Totally normal, just babies. It full reaches out to him in the exact way that his friend Taro will reach out to him soon. And even as we're fleeing, says his name. We get stuck. We think that we're stuck, that we've been found. But instead, an intruder is elsewhere, is somewhere else in the facility. This guy was about to go there, but instead we go to the sanctum. My first time hearing it. Let's check inside. Okay, on this side, he's freaking out. Thinks he's about to get caught. I think it's a really good job. Oh, there's only one of them with 2 in it. They don't all have 2 in them. Just that one does. Like 2 people in an egg with wings? Fucking, I don't know. That's crazy. This space is revealed to us. What are these giant screws in the wall? No idea. No idea. My brain goes pods for humans or reactor chunk chunk. But they're so vast. That's a brain. You can say it's not a brain. Maybe it's not a brain. That's a brain. This is the brains of the operation. This is the center. There's this symbol, which is almost identical to the symbol that's on the center of the faces of the babies, which is not that dissimilar from the strange rune thing, the glowing rune symbol in the center of the faces of the Tiruko, right? Fuck. Yes. What a space. I'm aware of it. Oh. We're looking into it, but there's no sign of any intruder. And the cameras don't pick him up. Not at all. The camera does show both babies in there, and it doesn't show one of them being empty, just checking off weird boxes. Okay. Come on, get out, get out! He leaves a footprint, which is going to be critical. And we pull away, close the door, and this fucking creature is watching. Tokyo. We leave. And it says that. Out loud, in sound, in mental space. But the way it says it is so similar to the way that Taro says it. Right? Right? What the fuck is happening? Okay. So, after our most insane creepy baby sequence, we pull to black. We hold black for a second, and we open on a Cylon with rockets coming out of its arms. A freaking fembot from Austin Powers with a nuclear reactor core pregnant belly named Everyone, named Mina. I'm sorry, what the fuck? And she is like playful with it, as though Mina's an old friend. This place is like a part of your body. And she responds with wit to the director. This place is like your body, so do you know what that was? Do you know what just happened? She goes, if a human had a health inspection and received a report for further examination required, would that human be able to identify the body part in question as well as the problem? So, like, do you know your body as well as you're asking me to know mine? Of course not. So don't ask silly questions. That's how I'm taking this. And she goes, ha ha, that's so funny. You're so clever, Mina. You win. What? What? Okay, let's pull back. I think that the point of these scenes is in part to give us information, but it's also in part to be confusing, to add new mysteries, to open up the worldview to a bunch of weird questions. So I think that my response to this of what the fuck is the exact response that's intended to be evoked by these sequences is to be like, all right, we've got this mystery. We're going to be able to solve it. Oh, it's much bigger than I expected. What the fuck is going on? And that's the point of this episode. It transitions us from like a point where we feel like we're getting a grasp on things to realizing we just don't have a grasp on things. And that's a cool place to be. It revitalizes the mystery. It breathes new life into it. It reminds you like, hey man, you don't have answers for any of the questions. That's so cool, especially coming off of last episode where it felt like a lot of things were paid off in some ways. It's like, yeah, those pay off and feed into the next set of mysteries. And those are going to pay off and feed into the next set of mysteries. So keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. And I'm happy to, because it keeps delivering. Freaking cool. Okay, so we chat about this. Dumb guy is so dumb and changes his tune so continuously. We don't take the payment. We get a recommendation for a place, and again, the information that people has is not great. Find a safe place to stay for the night and some delicious food, a treat. My God, the best thing they've eaten in a long time. We just chill, exist, and continue on. On this side of things, who deleted the picture? Was the picture even real? Now we get to really question our own minds. Was the picture even real? Yeah, I think it was. So did the adults delete it? But then, did she not send it to him? Was that a fabrication? Was it created by the system in order to test him? In order to create this? What the fuck? I have no explanation for this. So he confronts her. He confesses how he feels, and it doesn't even land. It doesn't make sense. In the same way that, like, kissing doesn't make sense without some of the underlying human stuff. He doesn't seem to understand his own emotions at all. And neither does she. Not even a little bit. But most importantly, she didn't send him the picture. At least not this version of her, not the person she is today. How deeply strange. So we ponder and ponder. We talk to Taro. Taro reaches out, and we're scared of it. But we accept, kind of out of, like, duty, out of, like, Oh, I don't want to ostracize you. I don't want to other you, right? But then in that acceptance, Taro pulls him in for a kiss, and it is not consensual. Tokyo is rocked by it and not okay with it. But Tokyo is full of confusing attraction and a desire toward someone too. It's just toward Kona. Everyone's acting weird and I'm scared. Fair. It's natural to fall in love with someone. So this is so strange because he doesn't say that out loud or anything, but all across the facility, people are having strange feelings for one another. And so is he. We finally characterize that feeling about the drawings. I don't want anyone else to have your drawings. I want the drawings. As being wanting to be with Kona, wanting to fall in love with him. There's so much detail on these subtle, like, eye floaties and highlights and stuff. These little expressions. The fear, the wonder, and then the joy at hearing that. The little motions. It's really kind of deeply cute. So, giggling and laughing. With his love confirmed, he finds out that the person who seems to be in love with him is dying, truly. So only you. Let me be alone, but you're never alone. Hold my hand. He apologizes directly and says, "Get the fuck out of here. This place is dangerous." Yeah, I'm beginning to get that impression. But I'm also wondering if the children who are here are dangerous themselves. I'm not sure. I'm in a magical place where I'm really not sure of just about anything. I'm sure that the adults are hiding things. I'm sure that those are not human babies the way that we understand them. This is a wild show. This is so weird. This is so weird. What fun. Just pulling back from getting lost in the weeds and the nitty gritty, because it's really easy to get lost in the weeds and the nitty gritty and the wondering at each individual mystery, but like, what a fun roller coaster ride this is. We've got 2 shows going right now that are really like roller coaster rides, really like amusement park rides. Dandadan is one, and it's doing that all in this, like, this action insanity fun vibes space, where it's like, what's the coolest thing we could possibly do? Wow, fun! And this is like, what's the weirdest thing we could possibly do? How are we gonna really fuck with you? How are we gonna really mess with your brain? And it's its own horror roller coaster ride, and I think it's neat. I think both of them are pushing different envelopes and different boundaries in different ways. It's really fun to watch them side by side. Thanks for watching me watch this next installment in our terrifying, weird, oh my god, what the fuck mystery that is Heavenly Delusion. I hope you enjoyed my blathers. I'm still not sure how the portion at the beginning about control over what you wish for, what you desire, fits in, but there's a piece of me that's really glad that I talked about it here at the beginning. That this question is like, are those things that are consciously within your control, or are they innate parts of your being? The desire to go outside, to know more, to explore, to love, to connect. Are you responsible for those? Like, are you in control of those? Or just in control of what you do with them once you realize that those needs, wants, desires, cravings, wishes are there? I think for a lot of the kids in this facility, they are absolutely not in control of what they are aimed at. But they are, to some extent, in control of what they do with those thoughts, with those feelings. And we're watching them figure that out right now. And it's really strange and very, very interesting. and I kind of can't pull my eyes away from it. I am enthralled by the combination of mysteries and payoffs that this show has presented so far. I'm really enjoying it. Hope you are too. Hope to catch you next week for the next episode. Let's wrap this one here. Thanks so much for watching me for this week's episode of Heavenly Delusion. I'll see you next time for the next one, or you can get it early a little bit on the Patreon linked in the description. Things keep getting weirder and weirder. I'm okay with that if you are. Much love. Peace.